if I ain't seen you since Westside High School, and then all of a sudden I get an invitation at my office
At the office.
to your kid's
Not even at home.
open house or graduation, we not real friends.
Oh,
Don't send me that, or don't send me no message on Facebook Messenger or DM me on IG
God.
with those invitations either.
Worst. That is the
Because
worst.
if we real friends, you got my address or you got my phone number to say, hey girl, what's your address? Because little Pookie, you know his graduation is next month.
And one of the things that can really be detrimental to a couple's growth are fake friends.
Yeah, them ones that smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place.
The backstabbers.
Backstabbers.
Oh, I
You
love
know
it.
what?
I love it. I love it.
We need help.
Yeah. So what we're going to do in this episode is we are going to give you some tips in terms of how you can spot backstabbers, because fake friends can stop your growth to it. So one of the things that I can tell you, then, this is a topic that goes along in the Tolbert household all the time about fake friends. And one of the things that I think is a sure sign or tip where you can spot a fake person or a fake friend is that they go over and beyond the call, almost too much. They are too friendly. They pour it on too thick. And typically, the bullet comes, the kiss comes before the bullet.
So, I never heard that before.
Because I just made it up.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. We're very creative and witty on this show. So the kiss, I'm gonna have to write that down. The kiss comes before the bullet, but it's so true. And in the biblical sense, the kiss came before the crucifixion. And it goes back to Judas, Judas, before Jesus was crucified, he kissed him. And I think a lot of times your fake friends and enemies come in the form of Judas, meaning they overly indulge in terms of their compliments. They go over and beyond the call of duty to the point where it's almost disingenuous, right?
Right, that's true. And I'm glad you went to the biblical sense, because I did not think of the biblical sense. Actually, we movie buffs to a certain extent. Yes. And I thought of Harlem Nights.
What's part of Harlem Nights?
When what was her name? Jasmine Guy's character, Dominique
LaRue.
She got, Bernice, aka Quick, in the bed, and then she had her little gun ready for him. She's ready for the pow. And, she was all over him, and he thought she was interested, and she was really, trying to get at him.
You know what? I did not look at that movie in that context, but that's why we make a great couple, because you pull out things that I wouldn't see. But that's a great analogy.
I mean, it's just what I thought about.
Fake friends, backstabbers, watch them. If they're overly nice, they're camouflaging. So that's our first thing. What are some other tips and things to help our viewers and listeners point out fake friends and backstabbers? What have you seen in your backstabbing history?
My backstabbing experience.
Yes,
I was like, me being backstabbed.
You were the backstab-e, not the backstab or. O-R. There you go.
Okay. I think that kind of in line of what you said about being too nice is the sarcasm or the backhanded compliment. So it's like, oh girl, you cut off all your hair. It's cute though. Or, oh, that color don't look good, but that's a cute outfit. Or, just something taken away from what you do. Oh, I didn't expect you to be able to do that. Okay. And it's something great, like, is that a compliment? Are you taking a dig at me? What are you doing? I mean, like, either say, hey, your hair is pretty, or that's a lovely outfit, or congratulations on what you achieved.
Well, you bring up a good point. So really what you're talking about are backhanded comments.
Backhanded compliments.
Yeah, backhanded compliments are another short sign that the person that is so-called your friend is probably not your friend. So I can say this: real friends typically, they, we rag, because I got to qualify this, because all the people that's listening to this on social media, they're gonna be like, Mike, you a fake friend.
Oh my
because
gosh.
man, you always give backhanded compliments. And you know what? You're right. I do give back.
You do.
I do give
You do.
backhanded
All the
compliments
time on social
but
media.
the qualifier, I believe, is that those backhanded comments and compliments are in love. So, that's part of
Okay.
that's part of the culture, right? We joke, we jive, we poke at each other. But I don't know what it is about backhanded comments that, I always say it's the Holy Spirit, but it's something that you can almost tell when the comment is not coming from a place of love. So I would tell all the people that are listening and watching, use your instincts. If somebody gives you a backhanded comment and you feel a little sting or a little tinge, then listen to your instincts. That means that wasn't coming from a Mike T place of love where I'm just joking with you. It might be a fake friend that is really taking a low key jab at you.
Yeah, backhanded compliments. We keep saying comments.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. But
compliments. Backhanded
they get what
compliments.
I'm saying. The backhanded compliments, backhanded comments, hey man, you used to be good, but now, those things. Yeah, everybody say you good, man, but little comments that tend to come up when it should be coming from a place of love and compliments.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
So what else?
the other thing that kind of goes with that too, to me, is I know it's still kind of talking about complimenting people, but celebrating success. They
So you're
won't.
on to the next one.
Yeah, well, I was kind of putting it in the same vein of saying, like, they won't congratulate you or anything like that, with the opposite of the compliments. But I guess it could be one alone.
Right. So it's another sign
Yeah.
that somebody probably is a fake friend.
Right.
Is some of the things that I've seen is, and you see this a lot on Facebook and on social media, is you have to ask yourself the question: when you have something good that happens to you in your life, when you have a baby, or when you get a promotion at work, or you start a business, or you do anything that you feel proud about, look around you and see who's celebrating you. If the person that says that they're your friend rarely celebrates you, or rarely, celebrates your success when good things happen, you need to probably watch that person, because that person is probably a fake friend, i.e., a backstabber.
And I mean, being active on social media is not the end all be all measurement of these things.
Right.
But we are in an age of the virtual platform or digital platform. So people are putting a lot of things out there. So if you are active on there and you see that, a friend that, or a person that's supposed to be your friend, isn't, liking anything that you put out there when it's something that's a very positive thing about you, then you might want to watch that person.
Right.
When they comment on everything else, or they make negative comments.
Right.
I
think the point that you're making is that you have to understand the person, you have to understand the friend. And this is something that I think also in the social media and digital world that we live in, that people have to keep in mind. Everybody is not social media or Facebook people or Instagram people. So this tip on terms of trying to spot or highlight a backstabber is, we're talking about the person that when you look up, they're always on social media. You see that activity log and they're on. They've been on. They comment on everybody else's thing. You have something that happens that has been shared 30 million times, and and that person hasn't, said anything about it, hasn't commented on it, hasn't liked it. That they're an active participant on Facebook or Instagram or something to that degree. That's probably a telltale sign that person probably is, maybe not feeling you the way that you think that you might be feeling them. Because sometimes these relationships, friendships they go one way. They're just one way, and you have to keep that in mind. You don't want to be the giver and always not getting anything back in return.
Right. That's another thing that I think about, though. You kind of alluded to another thing to watch out for when you're talking about being a giver.
Okay, and what is that? I think I know where you're going, but what?
Yeah, when you're the one who's always giving something, and not so much as in the physical sense, but the other person is just a taker in the quote unquote friendship.
I got you.
So
I got you. So the other thing that really highlights a fake friend or a backstabber is the question you have to ask is, are they a taker? And what I mean by that is, are you always the one that's giving or putting out, whether it be money, whether it be breakfast, like we're me and Shalice, we love giving. That's one of the things that we do. That's something that is one of our goals professionally and socially. We want to help people. We want to be philanthropic because we believe that God has blessed us with resources to be able to help people. So we always, now black folks and white folks, don't be coming showing up to the breakfast spot because you know that we might buy you breakfast. because, because the Holy Spirit has to move us if we're gonna buy your breakfast
oh
or not.
my
But
goodness.
but I will say this: we are constantly buying people breakfasts and dinners and giving things. And the key you have to ask yourself is, are you always the person when you with your friends? Are you always the person that's shelling out money, that's buying things, and that person is just sitting there? Is it one way? Is it transactional? Are they just takers?
And it's not, no, I mean, yes, that's part of what I was saying, but that's not all of it. It's not always about money. You got
Right,
people that, use you basically. These are users. They're using you for resources. They're using you for networks. They're using you for your
right,
services,
right.
anything, your knowledge. They always taking something. What do they pour into the friendship? What do they put into the relationship? What do they put into the business, the partnership? Because this isn't just about friends. You have to look out for these types of things in every aspect of your life. You might have this with family members, your business partner, your spouse. I mean, you just look at it, you look for it in all relationships, because you shouldn't always be the giver. You don't go into the relationship looking for something per se, but you shouldn't always be the one that is giving something.
Right. And I think we make a good point because the taker philosophy is not always monetary, I think is what I hear you say.
Yeah.
It's emotional too, because there are people that take every emotional fiber out of your body because they dump on you. They
Oh
mentally
my
dump on you,
God.
right?
That.
So they come to you, they unload all of their issues, all of their problems on you, but then when you need somebody to do that for, they're nowhere to be found. And I think that's a taker mentality, that's a taker spirit, because that has to go both ways. I can't just be your therapist, right?
Oh, your
So
dumping
yeah, or
ground.
your dumping ground. So sometimes I need somebody to talk to as well. So if I'm always picking up the phone for you, but you're never picking up the phone for me to hear my problems and issues, then that's a one-dimensional relationship, a one-track relationship that goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, that's a one-way relationship.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So those takers, I
Yep,
tell you,
yep.
whoo wee.
So I say the other thing that I would say that you could probably use to identify a fake friend is criticism. Criticism. That's all they have for you. If you see the friend that never has anything nice to say about you, and the only thing they have to say about you is negative, they can find anything negative about you. That's probably a fake friend. That's a backstabber. Stay clear.
I would probably put a qualifier on the criticism. And I hear what you're saying. You're saying the negative things, because if you have a really good friend, they're going to tell you the truth about some stuff. And it may feel like it's criticism, but there's, obviously constructive criticism. And the way that you approach things, I think, is what makes the difference about it being a fake person that's jealous or envious and they're criticizing you in a negative way, versus somebody that's really caring about you and saying, okay, that's a great idea, but have you thought about how this affects blah, blah, blah? And it's
Right.
constructive and trying to help you improve.
Yeah, and I think the issue that you're raising is different from what I'm alluding to. So
Okay.
I'm talking about the one trick pony. Like, only thing you have to say is negative. What you're talking about is the friend that is giving you tough love and saying,
Right.
"Hey, you need to stop messing with that married man," or "Hey, you need to get off the drugs. You need to stay off the crack." Yeah, negative that hurts your feelings, but that's something that's going to ultimately build you up. And a lot of times what happens is a friend that gives, we call it constructive criticism, right? They give you constructive criticism. All right. That criticism is going to be sandwiched with something positive. So it's always, hey, get off the drugs so you can. It's not you just a crackhead and all you're going to be is a crackhead. That is not building you up. That is not uplifting you. That is only a one-dimensional negative experience or negative transference of information that doesn't do anything to build the person up that's supposed to be a friend. So that's the point I'm making. I think what you're describing is something a little bit different. Although I do get your point. You're saying the qualifier is that a negative comment is not always indicative of there being a fake friend or relationship.
Right.
If I understand you correctly, right?
Yeah, that was what I was saying.
All right.
So, I got a good one. So, support of your endeavors, your business, your career, what you're doing. As I'm talking about the constructive criticism, it makes me think of, okay, when you've got a great idea about something or a plan that you intend to pursue, this is your friends are going to support you. They're going to say, hey, that's good. Let me know what I can do. If they have resources that can assist you, if they can buy your products or services, recommend you to somebody, anything like that, and in our arena, we work off of referrals in what we do. So I think that some of the experiences that you and I could talk about, people that we thought were looking out for us or would look out for us, just sending business to other folks and not even thinking about us, but then coming to us for the support through sponsorships or whatever the case may be when they want us to give, but then don't refer us business.
So I think what you're saying is, if you are talking about friendship, then the question is, does that person support your business, or do they support your vocation or career? So if you have a service-based business and that person is never actually using your service, if you have a good that you're selling and that person never buys your good, and they go to a complete stranger to support that stranger, then you have to ask yourself whether or not that person is truly a friend or if they're a backstabber. Is there something behind the curtain where they may be secretly envious or jealous of you? Because why would a friend use somebody else's service if they know that you do that? So I think Shalisa's what you alluded to is, hey, if you get into, we've had situations where people have gotten into accidents. We do personal injury work. We're lawyers. And then we've had friends take their cases to other firms that they don't know, strangers, and then they will call us and ask us to give them advice on how to deal with the lawyer that they have absolutely no clue of knowing. So the question I ask myself is this person that I have known all my life, that knows that I'm a lawyer, that knows that I do personal injury work, and you take that case to a completely different place, then I have to ask myself, is our relationship truly what I thought it was? And a friend wouldn't do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt when they don't know exactly what areas of practice we do. But when you come to me to ask me about what another lawyer is doing on a case that you took to them, I'm looking at you sideways. You're getting the side eye, because I'm like, you can come to me and ask me about what they're doing. You could have came to me in the beginning and
That's
not
true.
gone to them.
That's true. Yeah.
And I've become a little more vocal about that.
And as you should.
So
as you should, because friends support friends. If you're in business, your friends should support your business. And the other part of that, and I think you always say this, is incumbent upon the service provider or good provider to provide a good service to. You should go over and beyond the call of duty because it's your friend, to make sure that your friend is taken care of. Not that you are, you giving different varying levels of service, but the bottom line is, hey, family, if you're a friend, you're almost family. So I could see you at church, right? Or I could see you in the supermarket. So I'm going to make sure that I don't sell you, something that you can't use or provide a service that's not valuable to you because I'm ingrained in, I have something vested in you as a friend.
I think that what you're saying, if I hear correctly, you're saying there's an accountability that comes along with that.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. I think that's right. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So the other tip I would say just from our travels in the world is, people that lie about small things are probably not your friends because friends are transparent. Friends are honest. So somebody that can't be honest with you about something small, then the question you have to ask yourself is, well, if you can't be trusted with something small, then how can you be entrusted with something big?
Well, I'm not advocating that you lie as a friend, but I guess it begs the question to me of when you hear people say, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, so they didn't tell you the truth or something. So that to me kind of makes me waver on that one, so to say, in the sense that is there a level of protection to keep that person from being hurt, or what is the conduct, or I don't want to say the reason for lying, but I guess that's the only way I can explain it. And when you're saying the small or they lying about small things, that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not advocating not to be honest, but it's just a question, I guess.
So is the question is there ever an appropriate time for a friend to lie to a friend?
I mean, you hear people say, "Hey, I didn't tell you this, or I was doing this because I didn't want to hurt your feelings," or whatever the case may be. Not that they're being deceitful, so to say. So I don't know.
So you believe in white lies, then, huh?
Brown, black, blue. I don't know.
Shades of the truth is what I'm hearing, right?
I guess.
Not me.
I mean, I guess.
Lie's a
I don't
lie.
know.
Lie's a lie. So if you lie about something small, then you'll lie about something big. It's basic bedrock principles. So I kind of understand where you're going with that.
Baby, you don't look fat in that dress.
Well, I would say that if you ask me that question, I'm going to tell you the truth. Because your friends, why would your friend, if you out there wearing a dress that you shouldn't be wearing, a good friend is not going to let you go out the house like that. Only a friend that's not a friend is going to let you go out the house all busting out when the skirt is too small because you're too big for it. That's the whole point. Fake friends do that. Real friends don't. Your real friends they tell you got a boogie in your nose. Hey. They tell you got you
got a fascination with boogers, don't you? Yeah. You talked about boogers on more than one episode.
I've had friends tell me I had boogers in my nose. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you let me walk out the crib with a booger in my nose, you ain't my friend.
I don't let you walk out with boogers in your nose.
Exactly. No. And you know what? And see, we married.
So
that's my thing. I think I do understand what you're saying, though. What you're saying is there's certain situations where a person might not necessarily reveal the truth for fear of hurting somebody's feelings. So you hear stories all the time about people who see a friend's spouse out, maybe that's having an affair. So they're like, that's not my business. So I'm not going to say anything. So they withhold that information. Well, that's a whole nother podcast in terms of when you intervene and when you shouldn't intervene. But what I'm talking about is just bedrock principles of friends being honest to one another. And I would say that a friend that is truly a friend and not a backstabber is going to be honest with you, especially when it comes to something small. And I think the example that I always think about is I had a friend that we're not friends anymore, but this person was a lawyer, and there was a client that was bidding. They were trying to hire a lawyer, so all the lawyers in the county had to put a bid in. So I put a bid in. Most of the lawyers put a bid in. And this lawyer that I thought was my friend basically lied to me and told me that he did not put a bid in for the work, even though I found out later that he did. So my question is, if you're truly my friend and we're not, friends shouldn't be in competition with one another. We should want each other to prosper and thrive. Then why would you lie about something as simple as whether you tried to get the work or not?
Well, I mean, I believe in friendly competition, but I don't think that what you just explained was friendly competition. I think that was envy and jealousy.
Right.
Because hey, we aren't in a large county. We're gonna come across each other when it comes to legal work. So, I mean, what's the big deal? Hey, yeah, I'll put my name in for this.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And the fact that, to me, I never looked at that person the same, because once I found out he lied about that, then my question was, well, what else is he lying about? And
I get that.
And everything went down. So I would say, ask yourself the question: if you find out a friend or a colleague or somebody has lied to you about something small that doesn't seem like a big deal, then you have to question their loyalty to you and your friendship. Really, it's small cracks in a vase ultimately to that vase breaking and water spilling everywhere. So you have to ask yourself that question. A small lie is a crack in the vase, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right. So next tip, I would say, or next thing to spot a backstabber, and this is something that just gets under my skin, and Shalise knows this, but I have a problem with selective invites to things.
Selective invites.
Yeah,
like
selective
invitations
invites. Yeah.
to whatever. Sorry.
Because my saying is always, and Shalise can attest to this, my saying always is, I'm either on the list or I'm not. So you can't have two separate lists for a friend. And what I mean by that is, when you need, if your baby that I don't even know is graduating, you invite me to the open house, but you don't invite me to if you're having a fight party, or if you having like a social gathering where I don't have to pay money or anything like that. And I think too many times what we do in our communities is we're very selective on when we want people to come around. We'll have you around if it's going to benefit me financially or monetarily. So Shalise and I have been invited to so many graduations and baby showers of people that we've never been to their house. We don't know them. And I'm like, well, surely you have had something social, but you want to invite me to a baby shower, or you want to invite me to a graduation, an open house for a kid that I don't even know, because you've never brought me around them. So the question is this, are you inviting me because I'm your friend, or are you inviting me because you want a paycheck?
I think that, those things are really, they irritate me, I'm trying not to go there.
What irritates you?
The invitations to the graduations, those irritate my soul.
Why I don't understand. What's the big deal,
Because of, that kid apparently has been alive for 18 years to graduate from high school. I don't know the kid. When the last time I seen you, I wasn't invited to no birthday parties with the kid or
18. You didn't miss 17
so now
birthday
you want
parties.
You want me at the graduation. I mean, as a generous person, you give a gift at a graduation
or money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying the money is the gift.
I
ain't buying you nothing, like physical. I'm giving you a gift card most times. I remember what it was like trying to get started in college and having money to go away and whatnot. But come on, man. Like, for real. Are me and the parents really friends if I don't know this kid? Like, in real life. It's one thing to say, hey, I'm having this for, like I have a friend who's both of her kids are in college now. Okay. And I was there with her when we were working at the same place. She was pregnant with both of the kids. I hear stories about the kids. I know them kids. So yes, I'm coming to their open house. If I ain't seen you since Westside High School, and then all of a sudden I get an invitation at my office
at the office
to your kids'
not even at home.
open house or graduation, we not real friends.
Oh my
don't
God.
Send me that, or don't send me no message on Facebook Messenger or DM me on IG with those invitations either.
Worst. That is the
because if we real friends, you got my address or you got my phone number to say, hey girl, what's your address? Because little Pookie, you know his graduation is next month. And we've been talking about how hard it's been for him to get through. And I'm so proud that he done made it through. And I'm like, yeah, I am too, because we had them time. Mm-hmm. Don't send me nothing and I don't know your child. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's or the thing that kills me is you see this a lot with wedding receptions as well. The wedding reception, like,
we're not finna talk about the wedding reception because you invited everybody and their mama to our wedding, and we ended up with 500 people at a wedding that was supposed to be 150 to 200. So
I'm popular. What can I say?
No, you was. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings because if I invite this person, then that person gonna get mad and wah, and we spent too much money on other people. But
I invited
down the road.
At least I invited my exes to my
None
joint.
None of my exes live here.
You still should have invited them. It made me feel a type of way. Like what's really going on with the invitation? But that's a whole nother podcast.
It really is.
We're gonna talk about that on another podcast.
That'll be it. who you should invite to your wedding? Your real friends or your exes?
Because I wanted you to. I wanted
you invited all your exes.
I invited most of them. Yeah,
how many? Dang, how many?
Let me see.
Was you over here like DMX? That was Lisa, Kill, another.
Yeah. Because I wanted them to see what they missed.
Oh, I forgot you had that PhD in whole relations.
Yeah, I wanted them to see what they missed. Boy, I had my tux fitting nice, everything.
You know
boy,
what?
I had diamonds in my ear, boy.
You did. You still were wearing the diamonds back then.
Yeah, but we gonna that's another podcast.
We digress.
That's another podcast.
Yes. So at any rate, but no, the selective invitations, that it really gets to me with that. So because that's personal. You can invite me to and it don't even have to be like you were saying something about at their house or whatever, like a fight night or whatever, or baby showers or all that. If you going out to dinner and you got a group of friends, am I on that list or not?
Yeah, that's right.
Are we all meeting at the restaurant or
that's
what?
Right. That's right.
So
no, I feel you on that, man. Like people get real tricky with these lists. Like I'm like, man, what's going on, man? Man, you heard about T Baby's birthday party? That sounded real old, didn't it? T Baby.
It sounded real
country.
Yeah, I was just about to say extra country.
T Baby, yeah, T Baby. I don't have a friend named T Baby, but it just sounds like
don't.
It just sounds like a fake friend, T Baby.
No, here's what I think you were trying to do. Hey, dog, you going to T's party?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know about T's party.
Yeah.
But when T had something last week where he needed somebody to buy a table, he had mentioned that to me.
Right,
but that's what you're talking about?
Right. And I think for me, the most important part is I think there's a fine line between because I get it. You can't be on everybody's list, right? You can't be like, know, and then let's just think about this. I had a birthday party. Not a birthday party, but
and that's the problem. People thought it was a party.
Yeah,
but
people
go
thought
ahead.
it was a party, but it was a get together, and you were trying to keep it really small. And
you wouldn't let me.
Yeah, well, because of this fake friends thing, right? And ultimately we were trying to keep it to just couples, right? That we kind of had experiences with, like going to dinner and that sort of thing. So we tried to invite couples. But then it kind of morphed into something. It just got a little goofy. But the whole point is that you can't invite everybody. Sometimes you're trying to have something very small, you're trying to have something very intimate. So I want to be very clear. It's not that I'm saying that anytime you have something, then everybody has to be on the list. But my point is that you can't always leave me off the list. And the only list that I'm on is the list for sponsorships or for donations or for graduations or for wishing wells or for baby showers where I have to shell out dough.
Yes.
To me, that's a little shaky for me, and that's kind of fake. You get into fake friend.
Right. Because to me, it takes us back to the other thing we were talking about. You're a taker.
Yeah, exactly.
That's you're a user. Yeah. You're a taker. You're a user.
Yeah, right. So we get it. You get it. So yeah. So we got there's a couple other points that I would make on this fake friend backstabbers things. There are two things that really come to my mind that really stick in my mind when I think about somebody that's really truly not my friends, and that's when people overreact to disputes. So the overreaction to an argument, the overreaction to a dispute. So if you and I get into an argument and I say, you know what, Shay, the Lakers are better than the Bulls. And then you say, well, you know what? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. We not friends no more. And I'm like, well, how did we go from 0 to 100? You know what I mean?
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah, so overreaction.
Because I'm like, wait, I get kind of emotional and
it's an overreaction.
Okay,
so I get. So when people overreact in disputes, because this is the thing, true friends. If you ain't thought about like pushing your friend down some stairs at one time, then they not really your friend.
Dang, I almost cussed. Talk about pushing downstairs.
Man, look. I'm talking from the guy's perspective. Like, guys, we get into it and we fight and we yell at each other and man, blah, blah, blah. Man, we talking about killing each other and then next thing we out having a beer. That's how guys get down.
Oh my God.
So my point is that when guys have those exchanges, if we can't have that exchange and still be friends. If I can't think about killing you and then the next day have a beer with you, then you're not really my mans. You know what I mean? I don't know where we are. We not friends.
I understand your point is that she said, if I can't think about killing you.
Yeah.
No, because there's some people that ain't my friend that you might want to be like, man, let me just if I wasn't this license and
you get my point though.
I think that what I'm hearing you say is that people that are looking for something to not necessarily stay committed to you in that friendship, so to say. So if they can say, oh man, you don't agree with me, we not friends, and mean it and not talk to you anymore, not call you, not support you, that type of thing. Now, everybody's going to have disputes. We're different people. We're human beings. So you're going to dispute things. But when you stop completely speaking to someone because of a dispute or disagreement
that you created in some situations.
That could be, I could see how that goes. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not talking about you slept with my spouse. We're talking about, like you just gave the simplistic thing of, the Lakers versus the Bulls, which is ironic that you give your favorite team against the team that you really don't favor too much.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that drives me up the wall when people use me as a scapegoat, fake friend. So like, we're not really cool. We're not really friends. But then what you do is you create a beef to basically sever the relationship, which is, if that's what you want to do, be a man and just say, hey, I don't like you, dude. I'm jealous of you. Whatever the case is. But don't make up something and then create a beef and then turn around and say the reason because of the beef is the reason why we're not friends. That's backstabber. That's fake friendism.
Yeah, I mean, and people are not going to do that. People don't like conflict. Most of the time, they don't want to look like they are the bad ones. Right. So they're going to use whatever to get out of the thing. But I think that friends talk things through, no matter how bad it could be. friends will talk disputes through, and they may just come to the conclusion that we agree to disagree.
You know what? It reminds me of school days with Dean Big Brother Almighty, when he was like, Jane, you did what, Jane? No, hell I did. Hell I told you to do that, Jane. I never told you to sleep with half pint. Oh, you were blinded by the black and silver. And then he was like,
what does that have to do with?
Because he made up. He wanted to break.
Oh, okay.
He
I was
wanted
like,
to break
wait.
up with Jane. That's he wanted to break up. That's my point. He really didn't like her. He wanted to break up with her, so he created and manufactured a problem and overblown it,
okay,
to get his way out of it. And fake friends do that all the time. Like that.
I see.
A little minor argument that a lot of times you started or created, you use and leverage that to justify doing what you already wanted to do, which is to not be my friend.
So this, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. I was like, wait.
Yeah. School days. You ain't up on your school days.
I'm on it. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I was just trying to put it into perspective.
I got you. So the last thing I would say, that the last most salient point of when somebody, this probably is a good telltale indicator of whether somebody is truly in your corner or truly a friend, is if they are a backstabber or a fake friend, they will lack consistency. They will be very inconsistent in their dealings with you and their interactions with you.
What? Okay. What do you mean by inconsistent? Because I'm thinking of like, if I can't make everything, like show up for everything, and life gets busy, there's no consistency in that. But I don't think that's what I hope that's not what you're talking about.
No, what I mean by, well, that's part of it, because I think supporting your friend, supporting their activities and their endeavors is a part of being a consistent friend. So I would say on the consistency piece, a person who is a fake friend is inconsistent because depending on where they are in their station of life is going to dictate how they treat you.
So, okay. So not the
Mike
physical showing up. But
it could be that. It could be that. But before you was Mike T the lawyer, you always came to the cookout, my family's cookout. But now you Mike T the lawyer, you too good for the cookout. Now that you Shalice the lawyer, you too good to go to Lake Etta and eat out of Catfish Bay. You know what I mean? People know what I'm talking about. Acting like they not from Gary. Now you too good for Lake Etta. Now you too good to come back home, and do, and see your friend that didn't move or didn't leave. And I see that a lot of times. And my thing is, if you are truly a friend and a consistent friend, I'm Mike T all day. No matter how many degrees I get, no matter how much money I make. And a true friend could always call me, could always call my number and get me. And if I don't answer, I'm going to call you back, right? So that's what I'm talking about. That's that consistency. You don't switch up on your friends if you are a true friend.
Right. So what you were describing, though, isn't that on the other person? Because if they're looking at you like that, saying, okay, now that you're Mike T the lawyer, like they put those titles on you. They look for those types of things. So I mean, I understand what you're saying. You're saying from the perspective of you being the friend, you haven't changed the way that you approach them, the way that you interact with them. But there's a certain level of
consistency.
Well, no, I'm not saying consistency. There's a certain level where you can't do the same things that you used to do if they haven't moved up in their lives either. So if you got, friends that were, in the streets, and you went to law school and you're a lawyer and your friend's still in the streets, you can't just go hang out with them in the streets. But if they call you and talk, want to talk to you, or you can call and check on them and things like that, that doesn't make, I don't think that makes you inconsistent in the way that you're describing as a friend, because you're not saying that you're better than them. You're just saying, you know what, we at different stages in life. And I think that part of that goes to what you do. So if your friends in the streets and they, selling weed, whatever, you can't be around that. And that don't make you an inconsistent friend.
But if they call you, do you answer the phone?
Yeah, that's I mean, you can still talk to them and whatnot, but you can't. That's the point. You can't hang out.
But that's the point I'm making.
So
that's the point I'm making is consistency. So, you're my friend. Everybody, especially where we come from. We come from a very tough environment. So we have friends that are not necessarily doing as well as we're doing. So if I'm truly that person's friend, I'm not going to, can I hang out the same way I hung out in 1991 or 1988? Of course not. But do I switch up on that person? When that person calls me and says, "Hey Mike, what you doing?" Do I ghost them? Do I not answer their calls? Do I say just because I'm a lawyer, I can't even have any affiliation with you? It kind of reminds me a lot of the movie like Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. Like that was a switch up. Like Eddie Murphy went from being a bum, being on the streets, then when he got some money, then he was a whole different person. He treated the people that were at that party different. Remember, he kicked them all out, told them they were freeloaders. That's what I'm talking about. And your station in life shouldn't dictate the level of energy you give to a true friend. You understand what I'm saying? So if I can have $1 billion, but it's going to be people that going to still have my number and can call me anytime.
There's going to be a whole bunch of people that's calling you then.
I'll be on everybody's list then.
Right. Hey, Mike T, you still Mike T?
And you know what I'm going to be like? I'm going to be like, the number you have reached.
You're going to be inconsistent. The inconsistent friend.
The number you have reached. Area code 2.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
9.
That's enough.
6.
That's
1.
enough. That's enough. You so extra.
Oh man, that's it. That's it. I think that's it. I think that we covered a lot. I based off of what I could tell, it was almost 10 things that you can look towards to tell whether somebody is a backstabber, whether somebody's a fake friend. This is important because you can protect your sanity, you can protect your relationship, because fake friends are dangerous. If you like this podcast, if you like what we had to say, this content, I would ask that you kindly subscribe, hit the like button, share, and follow us on all major podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. The list goes on wherever you listen to your podcast. So when you do that, it helps us create more content that we can get out to you, and it would really help us tremendously. So please do those things. We appreciate you listening to this content, and take care.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Don't be a fake friend.